Now, we're living at an age where stories of physical triumphs and struggles have been superseded by mental battles. Sportspersons the world over are more open and honest now about the challenges of mental health, about what goes on beyond the scorecard and the playing field. Take the example of Sanju Samson. On the face of it, it's a shocker. A captain of an IPL franchise asking to leave, moving to another franchise and without captaincy. But there is more to this story. In fact, KL Rahul has come out and spoken about the exhaustion a cricketer experiences, especially during the Indian Premier League, putting the focus on just how stressful an IPL gig is on any international cricketer, particularly an Indian who happens to captain his side. Let's start with Sanju Samson. It's a story of a boy who grew up in a franchise, went on to lead the squad, never won a title with them after repeated attempts, and now wants out because there's just been no luck. And maybe his patience grew thin, but that's not the complete picture. As we got to hear when Manoj Badale, the Rajasthan Royals boss, shed some light on the matter, he said he was pained to part ways with two people who had been the identity of this franchise, Rahul Dravid and, of course, Sanju Samson.
The first time in the past year he talked about moving out was probably in Kolkata, towards the end of the season. He was personally and emotionally drained. He cares deeply about RR, and I think having a worst season in 18 years took a lot out of him.
Emotionally drained. That's not a place anyone would want to continue being in, because no matter how we view sporting contests, one that's a battle of skill, power, speed and athletic abilities, if the mind is not tuned in, not in sync with the body, none of the above really matters. You could be primed to battle, but if your mind has checked out, where's the heart and soul in the fight? That's exactly what we could almost hear KL Rahul express too, just recently when he opened up about the whole IPL horrors during his stint as captain of the Lucknow franchise.
I realized that at the end of the IPL, I'm more mentally and physically drained than playing 10 months of international cricket. What I found hard as a captain in the IPL was the number of meetings, the number of reviews that you needed to do and explain at the ownership level.
He, of course, did not specifically mention a franchise there, but you had to know what he was talking about. You can almost sense the dread in his statement of when he felt emotionally exhausted. Take a look at the pictures behind me. You can see a hapless, defeated captain of a side being given a dressing ground by his own team owner right there on the stadium, even moments after the game, not giving him the time to process it all. And that's the learning IPL franchise owners, the management, the support staff even, all need to specially hone and realize. They need to understand these are international cricketers with a commitment towards national duty, commitment towards growth and the need for some sense of stability. This is not to say the IPL doesn't mean much when compared to the national calendar, no. Every league, every tournament has its place in world cricket, but it cannot be the one window players are frightened to be a part of, that players fear to show their leadership prowess in, because the pressure is unbearable. Not from the sport itself or the tournament, but from people outside the ropes who do not know the sport well enough. That's KL Rahul's words, not mine. Sport has to give you joy, even in defeat. It has to give you a strong sense of purpose and a feeling of achievement. Some satisfaction even in losses. That's what brings out the best in everyone. These instances have only brought a sharper focus back onto player management and the relationship a cricketer shares with his franchise. Because truth is, you cannot sever ties with your country. That's the relationship that's forged through time, passion, the hunger to represent and succeed in. What can possibly make a cricketer feel the same way, at least close to that, about his franchise, year after year, despite one loss after another? That's the real challenge today.
I was a revolutionary. I became a ruler. I claimed to protect my people. I terrorized them instead. I built palaces. I started wars. I lost everything. Some called me a defender of Arab pride. History remembers me as a dictator. Who am